Okay, so there's this great documentary called School Life, made by this person, about an unusual primary boarding school in Ireland. And for our purposes, you don't have to know anything about this movie, but it's a really sweet portrait of two educators, John and Amanda, who are married both to each other and to their life's work, helping precious children on their way to enlightenment, and probably also to future dinners with the most fascinating bankers of Irish high society. You can actually watch this movie for free on Tubi, or Tubby as I like to call it. Anyway, John teaches math and English and Latin and whatever else, but he's also sort of the manager of the school rock band. Basically a free-form music class where students can learn or practice their instruments and play songs together. And the drummer in the band is this girl Barbara, and Barbara is the type of artist who isn't necessarily born with it, you know? I absolutely love Barbara, and I'm just gonna loop this clip. Look at how she's trying to corral like every cell in her body to approximate some kind of beat. I mean, she's working so hard at this. I love the concentration, the stiffness in her body as she's almost possessed by a drive to get this right, you know, despite the odds. I feel like Barbara is a nervous drummer to the point of being in a constant state of panic, just trying to keep up with her own beat. It's a bit like a juggler who's somehow never juggled before and starting with 6 balls. You can feel her work. There's sweat in her performance. She looks completely out of her depth, and yet there's no quit in her, you know? Or maybe there is a lot of quit in her in the sense that she falls down a lot, but she gets right back up again, you know? She has this unreasonable amount of determination. She's tenacious. And I think if she ever disappoints herself, she doesn't dwell on it. You know, she just finds the courage to try again before anyone even notices her failure, maybe even before she notices it. Anyway, Barbara is about to get some competition, because later in the documentary, a new girl arrives.
She's from London.
Yeah. I'm not going back.
Oh wait, are you from London?
Yes.
What? Someone told me you're French. That's why you're so good at English.
Flory, or Florence, is the suave girl, you know. Of course her name is Florence.
Sorry.
She's so cool that the other girls just automatically assume she must be from Paris. She reads The Shining, and she's like, oh, you girls are still using manual toothbrushes? Okay. Flory looks like a disaffected model who's seen the world. She probably goes to parties with only thin people, wearing bodycon dresses, and there's probably cocaine in the bathrooms at those parties. This is a metaphor, okay? Obviously, these little girls, they're not doing any of this stuff. Just relax. So yeah, Flory sort of casually mentions, you know, in between sips of wine that, yeah, I play the drums a little bit. And soon enough, we see her sit down behind the kit, and it's hilarious. I mean, she just kind of swoops onto this stage and just immediately owns it. Look at her. It's so effortless. It's so easy for her that she's bored. She just has the beat already in her. She doesn't have to go looking for it. Flory oozes cool, like she just doesn't give a f***. She's got that rock star charisma and just an innate ability to play cool music and probably plan what she's gonna wear tomorrow at the same time. No sweat. You know, when I went to art school, I had sort of an experience like this. Growing up, you know, I was like the kid who could draw. And all the kids around me wanted me to draw stuff for them and everything. And it was just kind of obvious, like, I'm good at drawing. And then, you know, when I went to art school, I suddenly found myself in a place where every kid there was the kid who could draw, right? And many of those kids came from maybe bigger places than me with more, you know, just more peers. And yet here they were as like the best from their peer group, right? And so I walk into my first college life drawing class, and I walk by this girl, or I don't walk by her, I stop in my tracks because this girl's already set up her easel with a drawing pad, and she's drawing the model who's already there too. I don't know why I'm late to this class, by the way. But anyway, she's drawing in charcoal, and it's like her hand and her whole arm and like her whole butt, like her lower back, everything is just like kind of flowing with the line. And it's like, it was almost as if she was like dancing with her line. And this beautiful classical drawing just kind of emerged under her spell. Like she was just kind of like feeling it into being. It was coming to life in this way that I had no framework to comprehend. It was more like almost supernatural. And I knew immediately that I would never be as good at drawing as this girl. You know, it's humbling. But anyway, back to Barbara and Florence, because something really unexpected happens. Watch as Flory plays with a band for the first time.
I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. You're the magician's assistant in my dreams.
Where did all that confidence go? It's like her whole cool thing just collapsed at the first sight of trouble. It feels like she isn't used to failure or a proper challenge. Like maybe her confidence is only skin deep. I think that Flory has something special, but it's brittle. It doesn't have that much of a foundation. And maybe that's because it's not built on hard work as much as it's built on a kind of intuition and feel. It's something that is magical and has a lot of appeal, but could blow away with a gentle breeze. So I guess those are my two types of artists. Barbara, who may have less natural talent, but who keeps working at it and who learns and builds skills gradually and never gives up. And Florence, who's got a natural gift and a magnetic draw. Something mystical and cool and worthy of envy, but maybe not maximized to its full potential, and maybe fleeting or a little less focused, and possibly less consistent. Although maybe she reaches higher highs. Do you relate more to Barbara or Florence? And do you wish you were whoever you're not? Let me know in the comments below. I think I'm more Barbara, although I want to emphasize, of course, that I'm in no way saying that these little girls are the way I've described them here. I'm sure Florence works hard, and I'm sure Barbara is really talented, and the truth is that I know virtually nothing about these human beings. And this film came out in 2016 and was likely shot a little bit before that, so who knows what kind of young women these little girls have turned into by now. I'm sure awesome ones. Either way, they should not care at all what some old guy in a hat on the internet is saying. You know, keep on rocking in the free world. If you're new here and you're wondering what on earth kind of channel this is, well, I make videos every week on these topics, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber if that seems interesting to you. You won't believe this, but it's actually free to subscribe. It's like, what? And if you hit that like button, that'll help YouTube realize that maybe other people would like this video too, and that helps our little community grow, so thank you for that as well. Now you can watch one of my other videos linked to the right, or, you know, you can go on with your life on your own terms. I'll see you next week.